This is an extremely popular machine we have in here. It's called the Abs Company Vertical Crunch, and it looks like a torture device, but I can guarantee you it isn't anything that's going to cause you any pain if you do it correctly. Just like any other abdominal exercise, it's just meant to be loaded intentionally and slowly to focus on the abs and not making it a lower back or a hip exercise. So what I mean by that is when you get into this seat, put your hips and pelvis as far back into the seat as possible so that your lower back lies flat against the pad. That way you're not getting any undue extension or flexion to put yourself in a less than ideal position. But getting in that starting position with a solid back pressure point with my feet in the catch pads at the front, I am stable and solid in this position. I grab the handles overhead, and all I need to do is initiate the movement with a slow and intentional crunch where I am essentially pulling my thighs up to my chest by pulling with my abdomen, flexing my abdominal muscles and squeezing, then going back down into the range of motion, into the stretch, into an ideal and comfortable position, only as far as you can go without causing pain or discomfort, just stretch and activation, and doing some solid repetitions with slow and intentional movement to better train my abdomen and not load my lumbar spine. A cool adjustment that we can make to this exercise is the fact that the lower pad rotates. It might be a lot for you to start with, so I definitely encourage you to go slow and incremental when it comes to the loading. If you have put plates on the backside to load this with weight, it would probably be wise to, if you incorporate this variation, to deload slightly so that you can more approach this range of motion safely and responsibly, rather than just assuming just because you use one weight with the abdominal portion doesn't mean that you can do this immediately. When we get into this position, I'm still crunching my abdomen forward, but I'm more specifically pulling my right thigh up to my chest with my abdomen and my hip flexor. This is not just an abdominal exercise, it is also a hip exercise. So if you are someone who struggles with hip pain, hip discomfort, or limited hip range of motion, this is absolutely something that might be beneficial for you if you add it in an intentional and deliberate way and progressively overload, either by adding repetitions, weight, or sets throughout your exercise. Whether you choose to use this machine or do a traditional abdominal crunch, the big basis of operation that you need to focus on is keeping a solid brace and not compromising your spinal position. When you get in here, don't just drive your chest up and crunch your abdomen forward without having a solid brace and muscle activation. As long as you use the muscles as they are intended, you will be able to move through this range of motion without stress and strain in a bad way. But if you just go willy-nilly and throw yourself around, it might cause some uncomfortable positions to be illuminated. Just like every other exercise, whether it's a bench press, an incline bench press, a deadlift, or an overhead press, there is no such thing as a bad exercise. It is just an exercise done without the proper intention. So if you need help, be sure to ask the front desk or any of the coaches or professionals in the Dragon's Lair, because any of us would be more than happy to help you out and show you exactly how to use this.